The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The BBM Sarah tandem is currently in Quezon City to woo voters in the City of Stars. Dale De Vera now joins us on the line to give us more details about this. Dale, good morning. Could you tell us where you are now exactly and what's the latest?
Charles, we're at the Commonwealth right now, but the eastbound lane of Commonwealth Avenue is almost at standstill as the tandem of aspirants Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte holds a motorcade. The tandem, tagged as Uniteam, kicked off its Metro Manila caravan at Quezon City with Malayang Quezon City tandem of mayoral candidate Mike Defensor and his running mate District 2 Councilor Winnie Castelo. The motorcade started at the eastbound lane of Quezon City, Commonwealth Avenue, in front of the Commission on Audit at 7:30 this morning. It will continue along Commonwealth Avenue and Quezon Avenue. The endpoint of the Quezon City caravan will be at the Welcome Rotonda, the boundary of QC and Manila. Recall that Defensor and his slate originally planned to hold a gathering at the Quezon City Memorial Circle, but alleged the local government unit of giving them a runaround in their application for a permit. Charles, this is the first time that the tandem is going around Metro Manila and is also expected to be in Cavite and Laguna in the coming days. Charles?
Thanks for that, Dale, and do stay safe. That was Dale De Vera reporting from Quezon City. Davao City mayoral aspirant Ruy Lopez vows to continue the legacy of his father. Ruy Lopez is the son of the city's first and only Bagobo mayor so far, Elias Baguio Lopez. The younger Lopez says he's running to give the people of Davao City an alternative to another Duterte term. And Lopez says the Dutertes have normalized killing, corruption, and abuse of power in the city.
At this early, I will tell you, hindi tinuro ng tatay ko yung pagpapatay, pag-corruption, pag-abuso ng power, maging hari. No, hindi yan tinuro ng tatay ko. My father was totally different.
Lopez also says he's ready to face the president's son, Bastet Duterte, in the local elections. But he has one piece of advice for the head of the Duterte family.
Mr. President, time for you to retire. Naawa naman nga ako sa iyo.
Health experts warn that the Omicron variant may be more transmissible than Delta. Just how ready is the Philippine healthcare system for the possible entry of this new COVID-19 variant? Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro with a report.
The new Omicron variant brings so many uncertainties to the table, and the healthcare workers are worried that the new variant could bring in a surge bigger than what we can handle.
Kasi mas matatarget nito yung mga hindi bakunado, no? Kasi sila yung walang protection.
The Omicron variant has already been detected in almost 50 countries just 2 weeks after its first detection. Because of this, the Octa Research Group thinks that the Omicron could be at least 2 times more contagious than the Delta variant. According to the World Health Organization, a study from South Africa showed that the Omicron has 3 times bigger reinfection rate than Delta. The Philippines still has no reported case of Omicron, but local health experts agree that it's just a matter of time before it enters the country. Authorities are locating and monitoring 253 travelers from South Africa, one of whom turned positive for COVID-19. The country's average healthcare utilization rate is at 20%, or classified as safe. At this number, Limpin said that the healthcare system has already recovered from the last surge and is ready for the next. However, each new surge puts an even greater strain on the hospital resources and personnel. Limpin notes a steady migration of experienced healthcare professionals abroad.
Ang matitira dito sa atin ay medyo bago, therefore hindi pa masyadong experience. Tapos once na naman magkaroon na naman sila na experience, aalis na naman sila.
The IATF is considering downgrading the capital region to Alert Level 1. But Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said staying under Alert Level 2 might be the best.
Unang-una, ang mobility, tataas na naman ngayong kapaskuhan. Alam natin yan, no? At meron nagbabadyang o banta ng Omicron variant. So mahigit na mas konserbatibo tayo.
Limpin adds that with the threat of the Omicron variant, it's still better to err on the side of safety. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
Mornings and nights are colder in several parts of the country. And Pag-asa expects this to last until February. The details in this report from Marian Enriquez.
The country has officially entered the Amihan or Northeast monsoon season, which will bring cold and dry wind. This cold weather can already be felt in Metro Manila.
Sobrang lamig pag nasa biyahe, nakamotor. Agligo sa madaling araw. Oo. Halos mapapasok ka na ng lamig.
Kailangan mo talaga naka-jacket na nakakumot.
Pag-asa said colder days can be expected in the coming days. The Amihan season, meanwhile, is expected to last until February.
Yung talagang lowest temperature ng every amihan season na nagsisimula ng November and ends the February the following year, karaniwan ay tatala po natin sa buwan ng January at February.
During the Amihan season in 2020 to 2021, the lowest temperature recorded was in February 20 this year, when Baguio logged 9 degrees Celsius and 19.3 degrees Celsius in NCR. For this year's Amihan season, Pag-asa estimates that the lowest possible temperature would be 18 to 19 degrees Celsius in Metro Manila and 8 to 10 degrees Celsius in Baguio City.
According to health experts, it is normal for people to get common cold or other upper respiratory tract infections, especially during this cold weather. But they are reminding the public to not be complacent and to immediately get tested for COVID once you experience flu-like symptoms.
Symptoms of flu and COVID-19 are very similar, and they can only be distinguished through testing.
Importante na malaman natin na this is just really a simple flu o simpleng sipon lang, na hindi COVID kasi iba ang COVID.
Medical experts also stress the importance of following minimum health standards, especially this holiday season. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
The Octa Research Group says COVID-19 surges in Europe are driven not just by the Delta variant, but also by the cooler weather. Father Nick Austriaco explains that the cold weather in European countries is driving more people to gather indoors with little compliance with health standards. And because of this, he reminds Filipinos to take precautions in indoor gatherings during the holidays to prevent infections. The expert also calls on Filipinos to get vaccinated to protect their friends and family from infection over the holidays.
Transmission depends on mobility and how people interact. So what you're seeing here actually as in the north, as in Northern Europe, and slowly moving down through the European continent is seasonality. And as it gets cooler, people meet each other. They're not wearing masks. They're not doing minimum public health standards. The hope is that many of our kababayans get together in the cities, but hopefully most of them are vaccinated. And hopefully they will be careful, especially if there are lolos and lolas around. And so yes, we are going to increase the mobility in the meeting, but the hope is we are meeting as the vaccinated people.
Baguio City is eyeing to allow entry of 500 to 1,000 more tourists. Speaking with 1PHS sa Totoo Lang, Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong said they're studying the possibility of accepting more tourists as the city's COVID-19 situation continues to improve. For now, they're accommodating up to 8,000 tourists on average per day.
At ito nga, pinag-iisipan namin na mag-increase ulit na additional na 500 to 1,000 dahil maganda naman yung mga sitwasyon namin sa triage centers namin. In fact, dumami na yung mga triage centers. Siguro umabot na mga 15 hotels na meron ng sariling triage facility. Kaya pwede na silang dumiretso doon. Okay. Pag gagaling sa checkpoint, ibibilisan lang naman yung pag-process sa kanila doon. Titingnan lang yung mga QR codes nila. Yung kanilang yung QR codes lang. After that, papabayaan na sila, diretso na sila sa mga hotels nila. At yung siyempre yung kanilang reservation, yun lang titingnan para mabigyan sila ng tinatawag na Blue QTP.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The Supreme Court has finally ruled on the constitutionality of the anti-terror law. But the justice's decision remains under wraps as the tribunal confirms and tallies votes on each issue. Major General Romeo Bronner Jr. has been named the new commanding general of the Philippine Army. And the 2021 PBA Governor's Cup kicks off today. Action begins with Alaska and Northport at 3 p.m., while NLEX and San Miguel are set to clash at 6 p.m. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 10:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.